Hey toy fans, D21 Beast Rob here, back with another figure review for you guys here today. And today we're looking at the brand new line of DC Superhero Girl figures from Mattel. This is a line of figures I completely missed being announced at Toy Fair, and frankly I'm pleasantly surprised to see these figures are even available on the market. Traditionally speaking, action figures are a very male-dominated segment of the toy collecting community, and I can't tell you how thrilled I am to see that Mattel is making efforts to actually let girls feel like it's okay to play with action figures. And dare I say it, without getting this figure out of the box, I think boys might actually enjoy this too. Now, if you're new to the DC Superhero Girls line like I was, you can actually check the website, and I've linked that in the description below, and you can get an idea of the universe that these characters come from. They're basically aged-down version of DC superheroes, male and female, who attend classes in high school in between saving the day. Now, I've got to take a moment to admire this packaging. We do have the typical sparkles you might see from girls' toys, and definitely a character that's much in line with the Teen Barbie line, or even Bratz, or something along those lines. But I have to applaud Mattel for designing a packaging that's not beating you over the head with this being a toy line for girls specifically. As we come down the front of the box, you do have an animated version of Batgirl in the upper left. We've got that DC Superhero Girls logo in the upper right. You've got a blister bubble packaging that does house the Batgirl figure inside. Off to the left, it does let you know she includes a backpack accessory. And as we follow the gold trim down the blister bubble, we do have the Batgirl logo off there to the right. Finally, the figure's name there towards the bottom. As you come down the back of this box, we do have a backstory for this line of figures off to the right. On the left-hand side, we've got an image of Batgirl. Below that, we've got the figure's name and a bio for Batgirl, as well as what her superpowers are. And then we've got a complete lineup of all the figures available in this wave. We've got Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Harley Quinn, Bumblebee, and Poison Ivy. Also, is it just me, or is it rather hilarious that this box announces that all of these action figures stand on their own? Not sure I'd consider that a selling feature, maybe more of an expectation? Anyway, there you have it, toy fans. What say we get Batgirl out of the box and see what she's all about? Alright, toy fans, and here we have Batgirl out of the packaging. Now, obviously, the first thing I need to mention is that the costume design for this particular version of Batgirl is clearly inspired by Babs Tarr's recent revision of the Batgirl costume in the comics. And I think the further revision of that costume into the DC Superhero Girls figure is actually done quite well. Batgirl actually comes with two accessories. The first one is already on her. You'll see here that she does have a hood with the bat ears. It actually slides off very nicely, and I suppose it's designed to be part of the actual jacket that she's wearing, but you don't have to have it on the figure. She's got the domino mask around her eyes, and it's been painted mostly cleanly around the figure. There is a bit of sculpted detail for that mask, and it's not super clean around the nose, but that's really the only fault of the figure that I can find. The eyes are very clean, the lipstick on the lips is very clean. The hair doesn't have any actual paint shading, but it is sculpted decently enough for a $10 figure. Coming down the figure, we've got some lines in the costume that definitely evoke the sense of the motorcycle jacket that she's wearing. Very clean bat logo painted on the chest. On the arms, you have these sort of gauntlet pieces that have been painted very cleanly, and some nice sculpted detail there. Black for the hands. We've got a sculpted belt that actually has a little bit of plastic fraying here just from the production. And then coming down, we've just got sort of these solid black pants, and then we have these yellow sneaker boots that have been sculpted nicely as well. Minimal paint on this figure to be sure. There's not really any paint shading or anything. But for the $10 price point, I think that this figure is everything that it needs to be. And honestly, if Playmates is watching, they need to take notes, because this figure's articulation is surprisingly decent. She's got a head joint that'll actually look left and right. It's a little tight on the figure. She's got a hinged shoulder so her arm bends out that far, rotates all the way around her body. She's got an elbow bend that bends forward that far and back that far. There is a bit of rotation here as well. It's a little tight. Full rotation here at the hand as well. There is no hinge that moves the hand up or down. It's just that rotation. There's no waist rotation on the figure, probably the biggest articulation fault of the figure. And the figure's even split into two separate pieces of plastic with the belt kind of joining them. So it is a bit disappointing that the figure doesn't actually rotate at the waist. Hip joints will bend forward very far, bend back not very far at all. Has a hinge so her leg can go out pretty far. There is an upper thigh swivel at the hip joint so the leg can rotate all the way around. Knee joint bends down that far and forward that far. And there's actually a rotation at the knee as well. Rotation at the boot, but then there's no actual ankle pivot. Now, the lack of ankle pivot is certainly a bummer on this figure, but she's got more joints than a Masher figure, and she's coming in at the same price tag, so take that, Hasbro. The other accessory that Babs is coming with was touted on the blister bubble packaging. We have her Batpack backpack. As you can see here, it does have a set of wings, just kind of decorative backpack that kids like to wear these days. There's a peg in the back of it, and then two shoulder straps. Attaching it to the figure isn't too difficult. You just slide it up her arms and press the button in her back, and you're done. Also, Batgirl's right hand does appear to be designed to hold an accessory of some sort, but she doesn't come with anything like a batarang or a walkie-talkie. So if she was originally intended to have something to hold onto, it's too bad that whatever it was never made it through final production. Height-wise, we can see that Batgirl does come in just a little bit over 6 inches tall. For some size comparison, here she is compared to the 66 Batgirl figure also released from Mattel, and compared to DC Collectibles' Icon Batman figure. Here she is compared to the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Spider-Girl figure, And finally, here she is compared to the 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Infinite series Wolverine. Hey there! You know I've got a thing for redheads.
Gross. I'm in high school.
Okay! Why can't I smell these sorts of things? This never happens to Jackman. Alright, toy fans, well that's my review of the DC Superhero Girls Batgirl figure released by Mattel in 2016. Overall, I've got to say, for $9.99, this is a pretty respectable toy line. The sculpting's nice enough, the paintwork's pretty clean, and she's got some great articulation. Plus, I really respect what this action figure line is attempting to do for the action figure industry in general. If you've got a young girl who's not into dolls and loves comic books, or heck, even a young boy looking for a good Batgirl figure, I say go ahead and pick this up. Well, thanks for watching this review, toy fans. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you guys think of this figure line? I have to admit, if I had had this Batgirl figure when I was a kid, I likely wouldn't have been too bashful about playing with it. Especially given how hard it was for me to even find a female action figure at that age. If you guys like what you saw here, do me a big favor and give this video a like. It really helps me out. Also, be sure to share this video with anyone you know who might be struggling to find the perfect action figure for their little girl. Or boy. As always, you can keep up with me on Twitter and Instagram at D21Beast, and I'll see you guys next time.